present the Boston Tea Party.
Welcome to Liberty News, where we bring you old news as if it's happening right now. I'm Hank.
And I'm Lila. Today we bring you exciting news from an event happening right now on December 16th, 1773 in Massachusetts. Let's head over to Jamal, who's reporting from Boston. Hello, Jamal.
Hello, Lila. A crowd of 8,000 people just left the Old South Meeting House in Boston and seem to be heading down to the Boston Harbor.
Jamal, did I hear you right? Did you say 1,000?
That's right, Hank. They're being led by Samuel Adams, cousins of John Adams, our future president.
Now, for those of you just tuning in, today's news comes from December 16th, 1773. A full 2.5 years before we will even consider ourselves a nation, much less think about electing a president.
That's right, Lila. Today's events in Boston, Massachusetts are happening while the 13 colonies still belong to Great Britain. Actually, let's head to the history room where the historians will give us the background for today's events. What can you tell us about the end of 1773?
Thanks, Hank. Well, to understand today's events, we need to back up a little bit. Shortly after the French and Indian War in 1763, England decided to tax their colonies here in North America.
And for our viewers, by colonies, you mean
Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Georgia, Delaware, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maryland, Connecticut, North and South Carolina, New Jersey, 13 in all. They all were considered part of Great Britain across the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, go on.
The taxation really stirred up the colonists because they felt like they were not being treated as equal British subjects. They were not being represented in Parliament, the lawmaking body in England.
But how does this apply to the events happening right now in Boston?
When the British turned a good stint at Samuel Adams arranged the Sons of Liberty and changed Britain's mind about the Central Act. But now Great Britain is trying something new. They have made the East be the only how we can sell tea to the colonists.
Why is that a problem? Does the tea taste bad?
It's not that for the colonists. This is more evidence that the British government is trying to control them and take away their freedom.
As we speak, boats full of tea are landing in the colonies, whether they want the tea or not. The colonists are going to have to decide what to do about it. To drink the tea will be to accept the abyssal power of the British government without any representation of the colonists in Parliament.
For some, that is unthinkable.
Thank you. Now we head back to Jamal in Boston. Jamal?
Yes, I have found a witness to what happened earlier this evening. Go ahead.
Well, you see, when the ships docked in our harbor.
You mean the ships of tea?
That's right. When they docked, about 7,000 of us Bostonians met at a Old South Meeting House to decide what we were going to do.
We talked with the ship's masters, and someone even went and talked with Governor Hutchinson. When no solution was found, someone, I'm not sure who, said, who knows how tea will mingle with salt water.
And that's when the meeting ended.
That's right. The doors burst open, and the Sons of Liberty, led by Sam Adams himself, headed down to the dock.
Now I understand there was a disguise or something. Is that correct?
Yes, they were clothed in blankets. Their heads were covered, and their faces were colored a copper shade. I guess so. They would look like Mohawk Indians. They were each armed with a hatchet or an axe.
Thank you very much. That's all we have for today. Lila?
Thanks, Jamal. We send you now to Alondra, who has followed the crowd down the dock. Alondra.
Sons of Liberty in disguise, of course, have ordered those who I suppose we will see what they are planning. Wait, they are bringing out the chest of tea. Now they are hacking open the lids, and oh dear,
What is it?
they are dumping the tea into the water.
All of it?
Wait, yes, they appear to be throwing all the tea overboard.
They'll make the whole of Boston Harbor a giant teacup.
Now they are moving on to the other ships. Those would be the Eleanor and the Beaver, the names of the ships. They are smashing open those boxes as well.
What are people's reactions to this event, Alondra?
Hold on, I see Josiah Quincy. He is one of the leading writers and spokesmen here in Boston. Let me see if I can get a word with him. Mr. Quincy, do you have something to say about this Boston Tea Party?
I can only say that no one in Boston will ever forget this night.
True words.
Alondra, from where you are, could you tell how much tea is being destroyed?
People are saying 342 chests of tea are being dumped overboard, equaling about 10,000 pounds of British money.
Thank you. We will now cut to a clip of John Adams. Although he is a man who believes in argument over point, Mr. Adams had this to say about tonight's events.
The people should never rise without doing something to be remembered, something notable and striking. This distraction to the tea is so bold, so daring, so firm, intrepid and inflexible, and it must have so important consequences and so lasting that I can't but consider it an epic of history.
We go back now to the history room. What will be the effect from today's happenings?
The Boston Tea Party, as it is dubbed, will create quite a stir. The British Parliament will respond by shutting down Boston Harbor to all ships.
Won't that affect their their businesses?
Exactly. Parliament will then pass a series of laws known as the Intolerable Act. It is time for the colonists to decide what side they are on.
They be loyal to the British Parliament. They choose to fight for liberty.
Good question. Something to think about.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in for this exciting event in American history.
This is Hig at Liberty News.
And I'm Lila, reminding you to
Keep learning.